Hey there, welcome to Roadcraft though. This is going to be a little guide how to make better roads, right? Or how to make proper roads, to be honest. And it is more difficult than you think though. It has a lot to do with the territory that you are working with. Like this is just pure hell over here, to be honest. Or truck cannot even make it. But not just that though, sometimes you are just out of luck no matter what you try. And this is rather funny though, so let's just see how we go with this road over here. And first thing first is sand. Well, place it where you want it, right? You know, right over here. And you want a lot of sand though. The dirtier the road, so in other words, the darker the mud, or the more water there is, the more sand you want. Just drive a little bit forward and keep repeating until you have done the entire road. Alright, this is going to be very deep though. So I want to be sure that I don't have a break between these guys, right? You know, like over here. Oh, break right there. You know, the parking brake in other words. And now we let go of it, but we also pump it, right? You know? Like right over here. So there's minimal room between the tip of the hills though, but the bases are properly connected. Proper connected though, right? You know, with a lot of sand, and that's beautiful right now. You want to take a slide right and then turn back. Very easy to make a corner though with the sand once you have flattened it. Right now we have to make the base in a direction where we want to go. By the way, if you do appreciate the guide though and want to see some more guides on my channel, or maybe you think it's a good idea, do let me know. Give me a like, a comment, maybe a subscribe though. And by that I really appreciate it though if you will do that. But don't feel pressure to do it, of course, right? You know, we are just here to learn and to have a lot of fun. By the way, this is awesome though, doesn't it? Or isn't it? Look at that. All the water. You know, the truck. I just love it, man. Don't forget though, if you reach the end, you know, it's not the end for you. It's not the end for kipping sand. Because if you stop here and you have to plot a route, the trucks will get stuck in the mud anyway. So if I were you, I will just keep going on. You can go right or left here if you want to continue, but I'm just making a small guide here for now. But I will just go till around here, because right now I know that I can press the rest of the sand to the corners of the mud around here. So that's nice. Alright. Then flattening activated on your little bulldozer, excavator, etc. And just go in the middle. Don't worry about it being flat directly or not though. It will happen once you go a couple of times over it. Just keep in the middle. Everything will be fine though, huh? This is one of the best parts, by the way. It's nice and quick. It's very satisfying. You can really direct where you want the route to go, or where it actually or how it actually will look like. But sometimes there are just stuff in the road, in the texture, that you cannot get rid of, like very small dents, or you know, like little potholes, etc. Maybe some sticks poked through, or a rock. You cannot get rid of that though, sadly, as of yet. So that is something we just have to accept as is. This went already a whole lot smoother now, didn't it? Alright, back into the marching mode. And now we are going to go back way backwards. And we just go on the same route. So we are going to do that a couple of times, back and forward. But if you look, it already looks a lot flatter than before, right? Small little tip, by the way. On the way back, go to your left or right side a little bit more than normal. And keep staying on that side if you go back again, right? Because then you have both sides of the road covered. So now I'm on the left side. Once I turn around, I will do the same on the other left side. And over here, I will just push it right over the other concrete. Because like, well, tarmac, right, you know, because I can make a new road there. And as a finishing touch, I always recommend to go in the middle in the end, because then you have the proper flatness in the middle though, where you are going to make the road, right? Because on the side sometimes you keep pressing it further away. That means that the road is going to be lower and lower and lower, meaning you have anomalies that we have right over here on this little side. You can see lots of beautiful sand flying in the air though, but that's not what we want. But off we are. So if I want to continue this road, we will definitely do so. But right now, let's get the asphalt layer. So I went a couple more times over there. As you can see, I stretched it out a little bit because I was not too happy with the result. And whenever you are doing this, just go and drive like this, just slightly. Maybe you want to do it slowly too, right? But the thing though is that if it looks flat, it is flat. Now there are some bumps here and there on the left side, but I cannot get rid of them though. I've been a couple of times here and there and back again. So far, so smooth as can be though, huh? So smooth as can be. Oh, we kind of have to hurry though, because behind me there is someone very important coming that doesn't know what a brake is though. So, you know, we gotta keep going and just go in the middle though. First in the middle, and then, see what I mean though? See what I mean? And, and then, you know, once the middle is complete, we can fix the sides and then we can go with the steamroller over it. For now, let's just focus here. By the way, it's alright to make mistakes here though, right? Because these little things, they drive very, very rough. They are very rough drivers. And you can only master it, to be honest, if the floor is very, very, very flat. Right now, as you can see, I'm driving rather smoothly. And that's because my sand road is actually flat. So keep that in mind. Alright, no need to turn it off, because we want to have it flatten here too a little bit out, right, you know. We can go back and forth actually to make it actually a little bit better looking than this. But keep in mind, we will probably throw some sand on here later on, just to connect the other two roads, right, you know. So right now I am not too concerned about this part, and it's a little bit more rough. But remember though, a good worker does everything perfect. Now, this is my golden tip right now though. You don't want the roads maybe too big, right? Maybe you want to, but if you don't, just keep those tracks on the line of the concrete that you did, well, the tarmac, the asphalt that you did actually drop. So just keep that in line and you will be fine. Because you don't want to have a road that is way too thick though, because it's a little bit weird looking in the game. There's no lines that you can make, right, you know, where everybody can drive. So hence, my little advice. And the best thing about this is though, it makes steering so much easier. So much smoother too. I'm going wider here, because it fits in with the road that we made before. Just like this. Yep. I should have taken the engine off here, but we didn't. We were very lazy here, I have to admit. And then from here we will connect to. Yeah, this one has a slight drop because we did plan this route a little bit wrong. Although I'm very happy with the results, I have to admit. There we go, just connect it and go back and forth a little bit. Just like this, so we have the little lines that we can actually go, you know, like before the turns. I know, big boy. I know, big boy. Just get out of the way, all right? Darn you. You have a break. You remember that? No, by training. By the way, we pay for their salary. They are working for us. Imagine that. Alrighty then. Heavy rain, doesn't matter. Now, hopefully the tarmac is not old. So yeah, now comes the fun part though. We just drive a little bit on the edge, but as you can see, the right side is not being flattened. That's why, because that's a normal thing though, because it looks a little bit better in my opinion, but not just that. We don't always use the full road right. On the sides we have those rails and whatnot. Although, when I'm driving like this, realistically that will be flat too. But to me it does not matter. So if you go over the edge, like say here to the right, it actually looks pretty cool. So don't worry about those details though. Just do you. Your road, your style, right? Here we just have to go back and forth a little bit. The rain is just very, very troubling though, in my opinion, right? Because if that cools off, it will be difficult to actually put it back on. Come on, big boy. You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, almost. There we go. There we go. And if you look closely, by the way, the asphalt is going to stretch a little bit to the right side. Yeah, there you go. So, if you drive straight, you can actually make it pretty nice, right? Especially in the corners. So, my camera angle was a little bit weird, so I could show it off. Let's focus on the road. And there we have the last bit, and an absolute maniac on the road once again though. Once again, it's always the same company, huh? Yeah, look at that. It is a whole world of difference though, isn't it? It is fantastic looking right now, and I'm very happy about it. We did a great job. So, hey, I hope you enjoyed the show. My last advice is though, if you have a T-split like that over there, and it goes down slope like mine is, don't worry about it. If it goes up slope like there, finish the entire road. Alright, it is a little bit better, but down there we just put a layer of sand over it Nobody ever knew that there was a road down below, right? So keep that in mind though. Happy trucking. See you later. Bye bye.